Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to my video about the Spike Video Game Awards 2013. And now, I should correct myself, because it's not the Spike Video Game Awards anymore. Now, it's the VGXs. So, rebranded, whatever. It's rebranded, it's 1 hour longer than usual, and now it's all online. And the budget has obviously been significantly shortened. I'll talk about that in a second. But anyway, even though I don't really care for the Spike Video Game Awards, I look forward to them because of the world exclusives. The sneak peeks at the next games, all the big premieres, like the big announcements. I mean, the Spike Video Game Awards is the place where we got our first look at stuff like The Last of Us. So I enjoy the show, especially since we get a bunch of crap and then we get something really good. That one good thing, that followed up all the crap. It makes it even better, because I had to watch like Samuel L. Jackson implemented it into a bunch of games last year, which wasn't funny. And then we got to see something cool, like we got to see a new trailer for BioShock, and I'm like, oh, cool. So I love the world exclusives, and sometimes there's other things that I do enjoy. I can't think of anything from last year, but I know there's like a couple things that aren't really particularly video game related that I do enjoy. Like, whenever they do like they actually play video game music during the Spike Video Game Awards. They did that last year where they had an orchestra for all the main, I think all the Game of the Years. They had an orchestra of all the main themes for that. Thought that was awesome for those games. Thought that was awesome. So, you know what? Sometimes they do something really cool. This year, on the other hand, like I said, they scaled down the budget. It looked, the set itself, which it was a set, it wasn't even a stage. There was no real audience. No clapping, there was no audience really. It looked like the set of something like Attack of the Show or X-Play. It looked very scaled down. Oh boy. The set itself looked pretty good, but it didn't look like an award show, not anymore at least. And the show being 3 hours long, oh god. Not only was it boring as hell, but it was really annoying, because they would show some stuff. I will admit, there was some cool stuff in there, but they would show some stuff, or they would get someone up and say something, and I was just so annoyed. And of course, the main person I'm talking about is the host, I guess. It was hosted by both Jeff Keighley, the guy that did, he's the reason why we have the Spike Video Game Awards. Of course, he was, popular from stuff like G4 and game trailers now. And the co-host, or the host, I don't know, Joel McHale from Community, and I think he was in Ted. I can't remember. But Joel McHale, who I do kind of like. I like Joel McHale. But every time he was on, and he cracked a joke, and he made a nerd joke, or he made fun of the developers. Oh, you probably drank alcohol all the time, or you smoke drugs all the time. Hey, you did alcohol and drugs, right? That's funny. There was so many jokes like that where it wasn't clever. It was really just, ugh. And every time he did that, it would just draw away from whatever the developer or even Jeff Keighley was saying. And we would have like a few seconds of just like awkward pausing or just unfunny jokes. And there were so many moments like that. So Joe McHale, if you were listening, which you're not, hey, Jeff Keighley, if you're listening, I know you're an avid fan of me. If you're listening, don't get him back. I mean, I'm pretty sure you know this. But if there is a VGX 2014, which to be honest, I don't know if there will be, maybe, do not bring him back. He is not funny. Not even a little bit. Maybe he's funny in Community, maybe he's funny everywhere else, but he was not funny there. Not at all. I think one thing was kind of funny, but that was only because he threw out maybe 50 jokes that weren't funny. Eventually you'll get one that sticks. I know. I'm not funny, and sometimes I make people laugh. That's after 50 grown-worthy jokes, okay? I know. I'm not funny. But anyway, Joe McHale, didn't like him. And every time he showed up, I hated him, which is most of the time. But I do commend this VGX, this award show, because it did focus a lot on games, all the other ones were just like, hey, look, all these celebrity cameos. They're coming up to say, hey, nerds and stuff. It's funny. Look, Jessica Alba, she's hot. She's like, oh, I want to screw all the nerds in here, or whatever the hell she said last year. And Zachary Levi comes up and goes, what's up, nerds? You know, there wasn't anything like that because they didn't really have any celebrities besides Joel McHale and, I don't know, a couple rappers. I'm not sure. But they didn't have celebrities. They didn't have big personalities, which was good. That was good because it might not be good if it was on TV. Not many people would watch it. But guess what? It was good for people like me, you know, smart people that wanted video game related content. And we got a lot of that. We got a lot of world exclusives. We got a lot of demos. We got a lot of parts where Jeff Keighley and even Joel McHale would sit down and talk to the developers about the games. I liked that. That part I liked. It was just so terrible that Joel McHale was so annoying, and like I keep saying, the budget was so low. It had to have been either that or they got some of the most unprofessional people to work on this. And most of the time it was Jeff Keighley or Joel McHale. Like, the camera would cut back and they're just like talking about something and then they're like, oh shit, oh, we're on. Hey. And there's a lot of scenes like that. There's a lot of awkward moments, a lot of, you know, pauses and stuff like I said before. And just all that just did not seem... it didn't seem professional at all, and that's weird. I mean, I know it's a different setting for Jeff Keighley, but he's done these for years now. I mean, he wasn't the host of them, but he's done these for years now, and I'm just guessing the budget was significantly lowered. I mean, oh boy, very, very much, seeing that, of course, they didn't have any celebrity cameos and not a big stage. There was no audience, by the way. It just looked like an X-Play set. That's it. Actually, I think there was more of an audience in X-Play than there was in this shit. So, that's all I wanted to really say about the VGXs itself. I know I'm going to talk about the awards. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to talk about that and the world premieres. But that's all I wanted to say about the setup and all that, and the hosting. That's it. I mean, that was like a good 7-8 minutes right there. I'm not sure. My camera doesn't tell me. But... now, let's get into the awards. Let me get my drink here. Don't know what that was. I just got back from the movie theater. Yo, Regal, represent. Coca-Cola, that's good too. So, let's get into the awards, and then I'll talk about the world exclusives. Now, like I usually do, I tell you what my predictions were, what I voted for, and what actually won the awards. So, what I voted for, meaning, you know, they let you vote for which one you think is going to either win or you want to win. You know, they let you vote. What I predicted was going to win is obviously the thing that I think, you know, more people were going to vote for, and what the actual, whoever decides the video game to pick, picks. And, of course, what won is what won. So... I'm not going to go through what order they gave out the awards, because before the show started, they gave out 6 awards, and I have no idea in what order. So I'm going to go by top to bottom, on bottom to top on the Wikipedia page. So, most anticipated game, the nominees for that were Titanfall, South Park: The Stick of Truth, Destiny, Watch Dogs, and Witcher 3. Two of those games were supposed to come out in the span of 1 month. South Park and Watch Dogs, if you didn't know. Now, what I predicted was Titanfall. I predicted that. Now, what I voted for was Witcher 3, because that's my personal most anticipated, and the winner was Titanfall. Not a surprise. Next was Best Song in a Video Game. The nominees were ADHD by Kendrick Lamar for Grand Theft Auto 5, Sleepwalking by the Chain Gang of 1974 from Grand Theft Auto 5, Will the Circle Be Unbroken, sung by Courtney Draper and Troy Baker from Bioshock Infinite, and Survival by Eminem, Call of Duty Ghosts. Now, what I voted for was Will the Circle Be Unbroken, because I thought that was a great song, especially sung by both of them. Either version, the one where Troy Baker doesn't sing or not, whatever. It's both really good. Now, what I predicted was Eminem, because it's Eminem. I just thought, hey, it's Eminem, probably going to win. And what I voted for, of course, was Will the Circle Be Unbroken. I think I already said that. And, of course, the winner was Eminem. Oh, wait. It wasn't. Will the Circle Be Unbroken won. What? That's a good choice. I mean, it was the only good nominee in my opinion. I don't know any of the other two songs, and I don't really care for Eminem. I know he's a good singer, but I don't listen to this shit. But I did listen to Will the Circle Be Unbroken, and that was my pick, and it won. Cool. Now, next was Best Soundtrack. The nominees for that were Bioshock Infinite, Ni no Kuni, The Last of Us, and Grand Theft Auto 5. And this one was not surprising. I predicted it was going to be Grand Theft Auto 5. I voted for Bioshock Infinite because that's my favorite one of last year, or this year. I keep thinking it's last year. And the winner was Grand Theft Auto 5. Not a big surprise there. I mean, it had a huge soundtrack. And it was damn good. It was really good. But my favorite was Bioshock Infinite. Close second was The Last of Us. That was a really good one. Ni no Kuni would definitely be on there. That was a really good one, too. Anyway, Best Voice Actress. The nominees for this were Courtney Draper as Elizabeth from Bioshock Infinite, Camilla Luddington as Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, Ellen Page as Jodie Holmes from Beyond Two Souls, and Ashley Johnson as Ellie, The Last of Us. I predicted it was going to be Ashley Johnson as Ellie. I voted for Courtney Draper as Elizabeth, and of course the winner was Ashley Johnson as as Ellie, The Last of Us. So that's who won, and well deserved. It was a close second for me. Best Voice Actor, the nominees, kind of funny nominees. Tell me if you can tell what's funny about this one. The nominees for this were Troy Baker as Booker DeWitt, Troy Baker as Joel, The Last of Us, Stephen Ogg as Trevor Phillips from Grand Theft Auto 5, and Willem Dafoe as Nathan Dawkins, Beyond Two Souls. Now, those are all great nominees. Even Willem Dafoe, I thought he was great in Beyond Two Souls. The acting in Beyond Two Souls is great. Story, not so much. But I predicted that it was going to be either Troy Baker or Troy Baker. No, actually, I predicted it was going to be Stephen Ogg because everybody loves Trevor. I just assumed they were going to win. I mean, he was going to win. So I predicted he was going to win. I voted personally for Troy Baker as Booker DeWitt because I knew no one was going to vote for that one. I just did because, hey, I love Bioshock. And the best voice actor was Troy Baker as Joel, The Last of Us, which is fine. I thought he was amazing in that too. To be honest, actually, I thought he was a little bit better in The Last of Us because his character had a little bit more depth, in my opinion. Booker was a great character, really good, fantastic character, but Joel was a little bit more in depth. You know, you got to know pretty much the same amount of detail about each one of the characters, but I thought Joel was a little bit different. Maybe it's just because Troy Baker does an accent in The Last of Us, and he doesn't in Bioshock. That sounds stupid. Best mobile game. The nominees for this were Angry Birds Star Wars, Infinity Blade 3, Plants vs. Zombies 2, and Ridiculous Fishing, which I need to play that. And now I don't think I voted for this one because I would definitely voted for Ridiculous Fishing. I didn't play any of these, so I would have voted for Ridiculous Fishing. So I don't know what I voted for. I don't know what I predicted. But the winner for this was Plants vs. Zombies 2, which is fine because I didn't play any of them. So I don't know. I like Plants vs. Zombies 1. Next one was Best Casual Game. The nominees for this were Disney Infinity, Animal Crossing New Leaf, Plants vs. Zombies 2, again, and Skylanders Swap Force. Now, I did vote for this, and I voted for Animal Crossing because it's I didn't play any of the other ones. And I predicted it was going to be Animal Crossing because it is a very casual game. I know people that aren't big gamers play that game all the time. And Animal Crossing won, so not a big surprise. Best Handheld Game. The nominees for this, again, were Animal Crossing, Pokemon X and Y, which that's 2, that doesn't count. Disqualified. Tearaway, and The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. I predicted it was going to be Animal Crossing again, just because I know a lot of people love that game. And it actually did, I think, got the highest reviews of all these games. I don't remember, but I predicted it was going to win. What did I vote for? I voted for Legend of Zelda. Even though I didn't play it at that time, I just voted for it because it was Legend of Zelda. That doesn't mean it's my favorite. Still haven't played it yet. But what won was The Legend of Zelda. I should have just figured that. I don't know why I thought Animal Crossing was going to win. I should have just assumed it was going to win Best Casual Game and that's it. But hey. Next was Best PC Game. The nominees for this were Battlefield 4, Papers, Please, The Stanley Parable, and Gone Home. Now, this one I predicted it was going to be The Stanley Parable because I know a lot of people love that, and I've seen some gameplay, and it looks hilarious, very original, very Portal-ish, except not portals. I don't know. It looked very, very like very smart humor, but it's dumb, but it's smart at the same time. I don't know. You have to watch it. It's very, very funny from what I've seen. So I predicted that was going to win, and I also voted for it. But what won was Gone Home, which was also, like, I think both of them were about on the same par, critically acclaimed wise. So yeah, I still need to play that game. Gone Home looked great. It looked great. But next was Best Nintendo Game. Oh, by the way, I just want to mention, best casual game, handheld game, PC game, Nintendo game, PlayStation game, Xbox game, DLC, best driving game, I think. Pretty much almost all of these weren't announced until after the show ended. So, all these winners, I just want to say that. After the awards ended. I mean, they could have at least rapid fired, like, oh, this one. At least tell us. Don't make us have to look online to see what won. What? Don't do that. No. So anyway, just wanted to say that. Anyway, best Nintendo game. The nominees were Pikmin 3, Rayman Legends, The Wonderful 101, and Super Mario 3D World. I predicted it was going to be Super Mario 3D World. I voted for Rayman Legends because I loved it. And of course, Super Mario 3D World won. So there you go. Best PlayStation game. The nominees were Grand Theft Auto 5, The Last of Us, Rayman Legends, and Tomb Raider. I guess PlayStation didn't have the best year. How come they didn't put they didn't put Dragon's Crown. That was supposed to be really good. I don't know. I played like 30 minutes of it, and it was pretty good. And that was exclusive. I don't know. And Tomb Raider. Did I say Tomb Raider? Anyway, I predicted Last of Us. I voted Last of Us, and The Last of Us won. Big surprise. Best Xbox game. No. Best Xbox game. The nominees were BioShock Infinite, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, Grand Theft Auto 5, and Tomb Raider again. Actually, Grand Theft Auto 5 again also. That's weird. That's a weird list. Why is BioShock Infinite on this one? It wasn't better on PS3? I don't know. Wait, hold on. Shouldn't BioShock Infinite been on PC games? Because actually, I'm pretty sure that was the better version. I don't know. And that makes more sense, seeing that BioShock, System Shock, come on. That was PC. Makes more sense to me. Where was I? Oh, yeah. The nominees were that. I already said it. I predicted BioShock Infinite because I just had a feeling that I was going to win nothing else besides that. I just had that feeling. But what won... What I voted for, I predicted it was BioShock, but what I really voted for was Brothers because I thought that game was incredible. And, the winner was Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. Look at that! It got recognition. I got it. And that wasn't even exclusive. I mean, it was exclusive for like a month, and then went on PSN. But, hey, that was a good game. That was a really good game. That was one of my favorites of this year. So next was Best DLC. The nominees were Borderlands 2, Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, Dishonored, The Knife of Dunwall, Mass Effect 3 Citadel, and Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, which was not a DLC. It was an arcade game. I guess it counts. I don't know. Whatever. I guess it's downloadable content if you think about it, because you're downloading it and there's content. There you go. But DLC is just add-on stuff to me. I don't know. But best DLC, I predicted it was going to be Mass Effect 3 Citadel, because it was definitely the best one of all of the Mass Effect 3 DLCs. Definitely. Yeah, very, very easy to beat that, because all the other ones were very... meh. I liked Leviathan, actually. I'll take that back. But still, Citadel was the best. So I predicted that. I voted for that. And the winner was Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, which was great. I loved it. But I really don't consider that DLC. I feel like they just wanted that to win something, but they didn't want to do a downloadable game list. So they just gave it to that, I guess. I don't know. It didn't make any sense to me. Maybe they thought the list of awards that they're not going to present was too long. So anyway, next was Best Driving Game. Nominees were F1 2013, which I didn't even know came out, Forza 5, Grid 2, Need for Speed Rivals, and I predicted it was going to be Forza 5. I voted for Forza. I didn't vote for Forza 5. I voted for Need for Speed, even though I didn't play it, because I was just like, hey, Need for Speed's it's just my type, you know? It's just my type of game. And what won was Forza 5, and I didn't play Need for Speed, but I'll tell you right now, I played Forza 5. It's a good game, so it deserves it. Best Fighting Game, Dive Kick, Killer Instinct, Injustice, and Tekken Revolution. Those were the nominees. And the winner, my prediction was going to be Killer Instinct. I don't know. I just thought, hey, people are going to really like that game. This was before it came out, I think, and people were really like going, oh man, that game's going to be great. So I was just like, hey, it's probably going to win. It didn't, but my vote went to Injustice, and the winner was Injustice. Gods Among Us. Yeah, so it won. Good job, Superman. Best RPG. The nominees for this were Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn, which I heard was actually good. Fire Emblem Awakening, Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch, and Pokemon X and Y. Now, I voted for Ni no Kuni. I predicted Pokemon, but guess what won? Ni no Kuni, baby. I was wrong, but I was also right because I voted for it. There you go. Next is Best Independent Game. The nominees for this were Kentucky Route Zero, Papers, Please, Gone Home, and The Stanley Parable. Now, I can't remember why I voted for this. I think I voted for Stanley Parable again. I predicted Stanley Parable to win. I thought, like, independent-wise, I thought the Stanley Parable was going to just sweep the awards, for indies, but it didn't. It didn't win. The winner was Gone Home again. So there you go. PC game and independent game. Good job, dicks. So next is Best Sports Game. The nominees for this were FIFA 14, MLB 13 The Show, NHL 14, and NBA 2K14. I didn't care. I don't even think I voted for this. I predicted NBA because everybody was like, oh my god, it's so good. Like, they didn't even put Madden this year. So, obviously, it was going to be probably NBA. And I'm pretty sure NBA won the last couple of years. And it won. There you go. So, all you football... take two. All you basketball fans... Good job. You didn't make the game, but, I'm happy for you. Next is a strange award. I'll tell you why. Best Action Adventure Game. That's not strange. That's a good award. The nominees for this were Assassin's Creed 4, The Last of Us, Tomb Raider, Grand Theft Auto 5, and I'm pretty sure I voted for The Last of Us. I'm pretty sure. I might have voted for Grand Theft Auto 5. I predicted either Last of Us or Grand Theft Auto 5. Those were the big contenders. I knew Tomb Raider and Assassin's Creed 4 had no chance. The winner was Assassin's Creed 4. I don't know how. I don't know how. I don't know why it won that. Maybe it's because they knew that Assassin's Creed 4 was a great game, but it was not going to win anything else. I don't even think it was nominated for pretty much anything else. So they gave it to that. There you go. So Assassin's Creed 4, you got it. I wouldn't agree. I don't agree, but whatever. Next was Best Shooter. This one also was kind of weird, but I'm glad how it turned out. The winner, the winner was that. Screw it. All right, next one. No, the next one, I was about to read the next one. No, the nominees for this one were Battlefield 4, Bioshock Infinite, Call of Duty Ghosts, and Metro Last Light. Now, Metro Last Light, thank God that got nominated because... Take two. I'm glad that got nominated because I thought that was a great game. Very underrated. But I predicted it was going to be Battlefield 4. I just felt like it didn't... I thought it was going to win PC game. I didn't think it was going to win PC game. But I had a feeling that if there's any chance something else was going to win, it was going to be Battlefield 4. But I also felt like it might win Best Shooter. That one makes sense because, hey, it's a big game. Everybody loves it. Everybody's playing it. Call of Duty, people aren't really caring for this year. And Metro Last Light, no one's going to vote for it. No one is. But, after they announced the Xbox 360 winner, Brothers, I was like, oh, maybe Metro will win. And, of course, it did. The winner was... Oh, I voted for Bioshock, by the way. Wait, no. I predicted Battlefield 4, but I voted for Bioshock. There you go. And the winner was Bioshock. And I agree. I think that's a great shooter. I don't care. You can say whatever you want. It's formulaic. I don't like it. It's stupid. I thought it was a great shooter. It was a lot of fun. Very addictive, especially in that Clash in the Clouds mode. It was a lot of fun switching up the vigors and stuff. I love the gameplay. I don't care what you say. It's satisfying. Fuck you. So I loved it. So Bioshock Infinite was the winner, and I am happy. The next one was Character of the Year, which I didn't think they were going to do this year, but they did. And the nominations were, when I think Character of the Year, I always think like the new characters of that year, not like old characters that came back again or whatever. So it was weird that the nominees were Lara Croft, Tomb Raider. That's the only one that's weird, by the way. But Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, which, Lara Croft is a character that's been around for years. So that one was weird. But they put Trevor Phillips from Grand Theft Auto 5, the Lutez twins from Bioshock Infinite, and Nai from Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, which I didn't know that was their names. I don't think they... I mean, they yelled that a couple times. I didn't think that was their names, though. So Nai and Naya. Nai. I think it's just Nai and Nai. I think. I don't know. I don't know which one's Nai and which one's Nai. I feel like I'm in the fucking what's that stupid movie? The Holy Grail, the Monty Python. Like, we are the warriors who say Nai, me. I'm just kidding. That's a good movie. Before someone says, "What? I love that movie. You're fucking stupid, Gore." I don't know why I typed on my computer. So I predicted it was going to be Trevor Phillips because everybody loves that character. First of all, where was Joel or Ellie in this? I don't know. They put Lara Croft. That was weird. But anyway, I predicted Trevor Phillips. I picked the Lutez twins, and the winner. Now wait, did I pick? Yeah. Well, I didn't vote for them, but when they announced it during the show, I was like, oh, I'm predicting Trevor Phillips, but I'm hoping Lutez twins, and the winner was, surprisingly, the Lutez twins. I had no idea they were going to actually pick them. And I know people were pissed, but you know what? The Lutez twins, they're original. In my opinion, they're original. Trevor Phillips is crazy, and he's a great character. I love him. But we've seen crazy characters in a game before, and he's very well done. Probably one of the best ones. I would say probably the best one. But Lutez twins are just so original. Every time they popped up, it was just for the right amount, the perfect amount. The dialogue was amazing. The acting was great for them. And the characters were very interesting. I wanted to know more about them. And, of course, Trevor Phillips, I mean, I knew what he was about for the most part. But I was hoping Lutez twins, Trevor Phillips was close second, and Lutez twins won. So, another win for Bioshock. What's up, baby? Well, next award, you'll feel better, you Last of Us fans. Next one is Studio of the Year. Nominees were Irrational Games for Bioshock Infinite, Naughty Dog for Last of Us, Rockstar North for Grand Theft Auto 5, and the Fulbright Company for Gone Home, which, weird. But the winner for this, I already knew. I knew it was going to be... I predicted it. It was going to be Rockstar North because they were commended for making a phenomenal game. So there's no way, even if they didn't win Game of the Year, they had to have been commended for making probably one of the most content-rich games of all time. There was no way. There was no way in hell they weren't going to get this award. And guess what? They didn't. They didn't get it. So I predicted them. I voted for them. But the winner was Naughty Dog for The Last of Us, which is fine. But you know what? I just felt it was weird that they would win that. Because the next award was Game of the Year. And I predicted, the nominees, by the way, were Bioshock Infinite, Grand Theft Auto 5, Super Mario 3D World, The Last of Us, and Tomb Raider. Which Tomb Raider was kind of like the black sheep of the group, but that was a great game. I don't care. Hey, put it in there. You know what I mean? You could put Brothers in there. I think that probably would have been a better fit, in my opinion. But I predicted it was going to be Grand Theft Auto 5. I knew it was going to be Grand Theft Auto 5. I voted for Bioshock Infinite. Now, if Naughty Dog was going to win either award, I really thought it was going to be Game of the Year. Even though I predicted Grand Theft Auto 5, I thought if they were going to win one of these awards, the Studio of the Year or Game of the Year, I just felt like it had to have been Game of the Year because Studio of the Year... I don't know, Rockstar North should be commended. In the studio itself, they made just a content-rich game, beautiful game, with a great story and an amazing online component, which I know was rocky at first, but still, it was great. Naughty Dog made an exceptional campaign and a great multiplayer, but they didn't it's not chock full of content. I mean, it is. It has plenty of content, but it's not like Grand Theft Auto 5. It's not. So, of course, the winner was Grand Theft Auto 5. I predicted that. I voted for BioShock Infinite because I knew it wasn't gonna win. But Grand Theft Auto 5 won, and I'm happy about that because that, I don't know, that is one of my favorite games of this year. So there you go. There was the awards. Now let me talk about some of the stuff that they showed. And this is becoming too long, but I'll be quick. Okay, the first thing they showed was Telltale Games' new project, which they have 4 of them right now with The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, and The Wolf Among Us. Now they have Tales from the Borderlands, which of course Borderlands is the game from Gearbox Software. It's a collaboration between Telltale Games and Gearbox Softwares. So there you go. You're gonna have a game that isn't technically a shooter. There might be shooter elements in it, kind of like Walking Dead had it, but for the most part, it's just going to tell a story in the Borderlands universe, and I'm looking forward to that. That looks really cool. The trailer was really cool, and hey, Handsome Jack was in it, so yeah, I love it. Handsome Jack. He's cool. The next thing they showed was the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, which is pretty much, I would say, the Game of the Year edition. It's pretty much a Game of the Year edition, but instead of just releasing it on the same console, they decided to release it into the next gen of consoles. Put all of the DLC in the game, every single pre-order, every single DLC that came out for the multiplayer, and they spruced up the game, made it look much better. Like, they showed the graphics, like, they didn't show it side by side, but I could tell automatically, like, the face of Lara Croft, all the environments itself, it looked beautiful. So, hey, I'm probably gonna buy this. So it looks great. I love the game. So hey, it might not have been the survivalist game that they thought. I mean, they were promoting, but hey, it was a fun game and it had a really good story and a likable character. The third thing was they showed off some Quantum Break gameplay. Of course, that game that's supposed to be a Xbox One exclusive, and they showed a little bit of gameplay. They talked more about the story. It's looking great. It really is. It's looking really good. And hell, I love Alan Wake. I love the first 2 Max Payne games. I love the third one too, but they didn't make that. But hey, I was really looking forward to it, and they showed me it, and I thought it looked good. Graphically, it looks amazing, and gameplay-wise, it looks like a lot of fun. So next was, they also showed a small iOS game, Remedy. They showed Agents of Stormwatch, which I didn't really get an idea of what it was. Didn't really understand it, but it looked kind of cool. So there you go. The fourth was Telltale Games announced the Game of Thrones game, which we already knew was going to happen, but I guess they had to officially announce it. They showed a little trailer. Whatever. It was just a trailer. Let me get a drink. It was kind of like that Uncharted trailer they had before, except there was no narration over it. It was just like, Game of Thrones. There you go. Telltale's Game of Thrones. You excited? I bet you are. I am, because I love Game of Thrones. I love Borderlands. I love Walking Dead. And now I love Fables. So guess what? I'm looking forward to all 4 properties from them. And Telltale Games is going to be one of my favorite studios of all time, it looks like, unless they screw it all up, which I doubt they will. Wolf Among Us and Walking Dead were great. Unless they screw up Wolf Among Us. They might do that. Who knows? But anyway, that looks great. The 5th game is probably my favorite exclusive right now from the guys that developed Joe Danger. And I'm sorry, not exclusive. World premiere. That's what I meant. This game looks really cool and very ambitious. This game's called No Man's Sky, which is it's made by the Joe Danger guys, Hello Games, like I said. And it's a game where you get in a spaceship and you can go all the way into space and explore just like a bunch of different like planets and stars and stuff. You could go to anything you see. Like if you see a little bit of like a little blip in the distance in space, you can go to that and it'll be like a planet or a star or whatnot. It's really ambitious. You can go like, I think I'm just going to figure there's no loading screen, so you go straight onto a planet. You just go land on there and explore the world. If this thing is for real and they actually... God, I'm drooling. This game felt good. If they can actually do this, they can pull it off, I am so excited for this game. Now, if it's not going to be downloadable, I don't think so. I'm just going to assume, seeing that it's going to be a really big, probably really expansive game, I'm not sure. And if there's actually going to be gameplay, I'm not really sure. It might just be all exploration, which is cool with me, but hey, sometimes you need some gameplay just to lighten the boredom. But I'm looking forward to it. It was the biggest thing that just made me go, whoa, that's cool. So next thing, actually, well, pretty much everything else they just showed a bunch of stuff we've already seen. They showed Titanfall, more gameplay. They showed, well, actually, they showed a new trailer about that showed a new Titan. They actually showed two, and that was cool. Thief, they showed a story trailer, and before the show started, they showed like a whole 15-minute like, I guess, documentary in a way, where they talked to the developers and showed gameplay and how like in depth they went into making Thief feel like a real game where you're playing as a thief. And that doesn't make any sense. Where you play as a thief, where you have to like actually like touch everything and stuff. I don't know. You have to watch the 15 minutes of whatever. It looked really cool. They showed more of South Park: The Stick of Truth, which I just want to come out now. They were throwing farts or something, so that looked funny. Broken Age, which looks awesome, which of course is that new game developed by Tim Schafer's company, Double Fine, which was up on Kickstarter and made like what, $4 million. So that looks awesome. The art style looks great. They announced that Elijah Wood and Jack Black are gonna play characters in that game. So hey, I'm looking forward to it. It looks great. I love adventure games. And I think the first half is supposed to come out in January. So that's what he said, at least. So, hey, I'm looking forward to it. Now, I know it's going to be on PC, but it looked like a game that I can definitely run on my PC. So I'll probably be buying it. So, hey, I'm looking forward to it. All right, next is, what else did they show? They showed more gameplay for Dying Light, that game from the Dead Island developers, and it was on my top 10 most anticipated games of last year, and it still is. It looks awesome. It really does. And from what they showed, it doesn't look like it's going to have many problems like Dead Island or Dead Island Riptide had with, glitches and stuff. And the game looks great graphically. It looks like a lot of fun. The parkour, the melee, all that stuff, it looks great. So there you go. Tom Clancy's Division. Now, they didn't really show too much of this game, because they wanted to show you the tech that went behind this game. Tom Clancy's Division looks beautiful, and I am looking forward to it. Oh, by the way, rest in peace, Tom Clancy. The Division looks really good, and all the little details they showed like when bullets hit something, it will react like a bullet would with something. Like if it shoots a piece of glass, the whole like window isn't going to shatter. You'll just see like a little bullet hole in there. They showed like shooting a headlight of a car, and you just see like it starts shattering after each bullet hits it. It was really in depth, and it looked really cool, and I'm actually looking forward to that game now. That's weird, because I wasn't looking forward to it at all, but they showed some tech behind it. They didn't show much else. They just showed like, oh, look at all these bullet holes, and now I'm like, oh, tech boner. So there you go. The next was The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which they showed like a minute and a half trailer. They didn't talk about it at all. They didn't even talk to the developers about this game. But they showed that 1 minute, like a minute and a half trailer, and I cannot wait for this game. It is my most anticipated game of next year. That one, like 1 or 2 minute trailer, I don't know, I didn't really count it, but I think it was like a minute and a half. That trailer was so badass and pumped me up. I want to play as Geralt. I want to go explore this multi-region world. I want to figure out what's going to happen next in the story of Witcher. I want to kill things. I want to just shoot things with magic. I'm looking forward to it. It looks awesome. Graphically, it looks amazing too. And last but not least, they showed more of Donkey Kong Country. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, let me do that again. Last but least, they showed more gameplay for Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which I'm looking forward to. But the whole Nintendo thing that they were supposed to do in this show, where they were going to announce something really cool, like, oh, get ready, there's going to be something really cool, was just a new level of Donkey Kong Country, and they showed a new character, Cranky Kong. I know, right? Cranky Kong. He's my favorite character. I don't give a shit. And I was just like, oh my god, is this really it? I just thought that was like the lead up to something really big. Like they want to drop your expectations so low, like they were for me, and they would just like show something really big. Like, oh, you didn't expect that, did you, fucker? And then guess what? It was some bullshit. It was some bullshit. They didn't show anything. They hinted at maybe a new Metroid coming out, but that's about it. So that was a big disappointment. And they wrapped up the entire show with some Grand Theft Auto 5 music, which was unbearable, because if you watch the show, you know why. It was every time they cut back to them getting ready to set up for the Grand Theft Auto 5 music concert, they would have these five, and I'm sorry this is going to sound really bad, but these five black dudes just right in front, and actually there was a couple white dudes too. I hate them too. But these dudes, all of them, I hate them so much. Every time they cut back to them, it was not only the most awkward thing, but it was annoying. They would like break into this like they would just like yell stuff, and they would be like, "Yeah, fitness," and then everybody would like clap in the background and shit. It was stupid. They obviously didn't have any idea what they were supposed to do. They probably didn't have a prompter at all. It was embarrassing. Probably worse than Joe McHale in my opinion. Okay, not that bad, but it was really embarrassing. So what a great way to end the show off, you know. 30 minutes of just intolerable bullshit. And of course, when they got up on stage, it was all rap music, which is fine. I thought the rap music was pretty good in Grand Theft Auto, but like I don't want to watch them sing it because you know they don't know how to pull their freaking pants up and they're jumping into the crowd and it's not fun. The camera work is terrible. Their presence on the stage is terrible. It's just everything was terrible about that concert. The ending when they sung that song that you hear in the trailers for Grand Theft Auto. That was okay, but for the most part, it was terrible. A terrible way to end a terrible show. Whatever. So there you go. Again, it was a disappointing show. I do like the new direction. Hopefully they get rid of Joe McHale and they don't do that concert shit anymore. If you want to do something cool, just interrupt parts of the show with some music. That would be cool. Like just like now music from I don't know Titanfall from next year. Like oh that's cool. Don't get a bunch of friggin' rappers to come up and like make a fool of themselves. Like it's just I don't want that. I don't want that. I mean you could say oh it's because it's from Grand Theft Auto 5, but we all knew it's because you wanted people to come to your concert thing. I mean you're not gonna get too many people if you say hey it's the music from Dishonored. I don't know. Fuck it. Whatever. Fuck it. It's over. I'm done. So there you go. There's my thoughts on the VGXs. That was my predictions. That's what I thought was going to win, and whatever. I'm done. There you go. I'm done. That's my thoughts. I went on longer than I thought it was going to. I wanted to make like a 5-10 minute video, but of course it went on way longer. There you go. Thank you for watching. If you watched all the way through, which most likely you didn't. Thank you, and of course, goodbye.